Let's talk about predisposition. If two children sneak up on their passed out parent after a few beers, and one decides to take a closer look at what was being drank, if after picking up the can smells it and immediately finds it repugnant, this may say something about the child's predisposition towards drinking. If the other child then takes the can and smells it also, but is intrigued, this may also speak to the child's predisposition towards drinking. One's predisposition is not simply right or wrong. The rights and wrongs could be based upon a social law, social morals, social norms, and is relative. After all, the amount sipped could be no more than the amount given in the church communion. We may consider the child who is repelled to be a good child, even though the reason for not being predisposed could be the child simply didn't like the smell, and not because the child possessed a moral equivalent to restrain themselves from the act of drinking or breaking rules of socially acceptable behavior. And the other one, being intrigued, would not be intrigued because they already know the effects of or taste of alcohol, or simply due to a rebellious nature. Both may not have known better. People can be predisposed to many things like anger, drugs, sexualities, violence, indifference, and immorality. Predisposition to a thing doesn't make the thing right. It could be wrong in every way. Predisposition doesn't make the person wrong either. There was an old man who lived at the edge of a village. He was well trained in many martial arts and was very strong. One day, some of the young men of the village got bored and began to vandalize properties in the village. As they damaged his property, and as he stood by watching, another man of the village said to him, "Why don't you put an end to this?" But the old man said nothing. Later, the young men's parents were angry at the behavior of the young men and explained to them how the old man had more than once saved the village and many lives. The young men were ashamed. They later went to the old man in shame and asked for his forgiveness. The old man then looked at the man who had watched him do nothing earlier and simply nodded his head. The predisposed to a thing know the thing. The predisposed to anger know anger. The predisposed to childish behavior know childish behavior. That knowledge gives rise to unique opportunities. Predisposition exposes the potential for greater moral fortitude to be exhibited by an individual later in life. When a person learns to show restraint when highly predisposed to a thing or an act, the truest beauty of their nature is revealed. It is when someone is predisposed to something that they can find a pool of empathy and to reach down into the pit where others are struggling. The beauty of predisposition is that they know, and without judging. Predisposed people are valuable people because when they shine so bright. Are you predisposed? You will never shine brighter than when you shine over your greatest predisposition. Predisposition isn't just some weakness to be discarded as some useless trait. is a fine opportunity for greatness.